Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel, I hope. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bachelor Nation slams the Golden Bachelorette's Chock Chapple for the shocking way he speaks about Joan Vasso's late husband. The Golden Bachelorette star, Chock Chapple, has faced backlash throughout his time within Bachelor Nation, but after using a shocking term for Joan Vasso's late husband, fans are slamming his behavior. Chock, who was introduced to Joan and Bachelor Nation during the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, has been open about his relationship with Joan after the show's end. While he's somewhat more reserved than his fiancée online, Chock has been clear about how he feels for Joan and what he wants Bachelor Nation to know about their connection. The pair have been open about their past relationships, including Joan's marriage. In a clip from the I Do Part 2 podcast, Chock was speaking about his experience exchanging stories about past relationships and made reference to his chats with Joan about their previous serious connections. Joan, who was married to her late husband John Vassos for 30 years, has been open about her husband's death and how shocked she was by his heartbreaking end. Sharing that he and Joan had discussed exes, Chock went on to talk about Joan's late husband in a casual way. "We talked about our exes because I was curious," Chock shared, snubbing Joan's marriage, albeit unintentionally. The Instagram comments were flooded with criticism for Chock, slamming him for referring to John as Joan's ex when he wasn't technically her ex-husband. Though Joan's no longer married to John, commenters made note that she didn't choose to separate from her husband, and Chock treating it as such was insensitive. "I would not call a deceased spouse an ex," at Capone Lamb commented, while Adam Friedern put it simply, sharing, "She didn't have an ex." Chock's comments sparked some debate about letting go in the comments, but mostly saw Bachelor Nation wondering if his terminology flub is a sign of deeper issues. Throughout the Golden Bachelorette, Chock was called out by Bachelor Nation for seeming like he had a lack of emotional maturity surrounding his view of relationships. While some of the criticisms were too harsh, others seemed valid surrounding Chock's relationship history and the way he carried himself in the first weeks with Joan. Many criticized Chock for being non-committal, but when he proposed to Joan, most of those criticisms went out the window. Now, with Chock calling Joan's deceased partner of 30 years her ex, it's possible his lack of severity around her marriage could be a sign of immaturity. Although Chock didn't likely mean for his verbiage surrounding Joan's marriage to sound causal or cavalier, it was clear that he didn't have the same level of understanding as some around the weight of certain relationships. With Chock coming off like he's a bit less serious than he should be, Bachelor Nation has taken the opportunity to criticize him all over again for his behavior. His perception may be able to recover more quickly now that the Golden Bachelorette has come to an end, but the fact that some were quick to jump to criticize him shouldn't be taken lightly. Although Chock calling Joan's late husband an ex wasn't the best move on his part, it likely wasn't something he meant to sound harsh or diminishing. In the context of the quote, Chock did open up about the fact that he and Joan talked about their past relationships, and while he shouldn't have called John an ex in that manner, it's clear that he respects what Joan had with her late husband. While there are reasons to look at Chock's public appearances through a critical lens, the Golden Bachelorette star didn't seem to mean to sound insensitive in this instance. Chock Chapple may have charmed his way into Joan Vasso's heart on the Golden Bachelorette but it looks like he's not winning over Bachelor Nation. In fact, the backlash is reaching a fever pitch after the latest episode, where Chock's comments about Joan's late husband have left fans in an uproar. Throughout the Golden Bachelorette Joan has been open about the profound love she had for her late husband, John Vassos. Their marriage was one built on love, trust, and decades of memories before his heartbreaking passing. When Joan entered this journey, she made it clear that while she was looking for love again, she would never forget the man she once called her soulmate. Most of the men vying for her heart have respected that, except, apparently, Chock Chapple. Chock, the ever-confident and sometimes overly blunt contestant, found himself in hot water when he made what some are calling a wildly insensitive comment about Joan's late husband. It all started during a private conversation between Joan and Chock, where she once again opened up about her past love and how it shaped the woman she is today. But instead of responding with empathy, Chock took an approach that felt more dismissive than supportive. "Well, I mean, at some point, you gotta let go, right?" he said with a casual shrug. "He had his time with you. Now it's someone else's turn." Bachelor Nation was not having it. Viewers immediately flooded social media with outrage, calling his remarks cold, inconsiderate, and even cruel. Imagine loving someone with your whole heart, losing them, and then having a man tell you they had their time, and now it's time to move on like grief has an expiration date. One fan raged on X, formerly Twitter. "Chock Chapple is can see a elite." Another chimed in, "Joan's husband wasn't just some past boyfriend. He was her life partner, the father of her children, the love of her life." Chock minimizing that is disgusting. It didn't help that Chock doubled down later in a confessional, where he scoffed at the idea of being compared to a ghost. "I don't really see the point in competing with a guy who isn't here anymore," he said. "Joan should be focused on now, not living in the past. Is she still holding on? Is she even ready for this?" The backlash was swift. Even former Bachelor and Bachelorette alums joined the chorus of criticism. Claire Crawley, who knows a thing or two about navigating heartbreak on reality TV, tweeted, "Chock's comments about Joan's husband were beyond tone deaf. Grief doesn't just vanish because you want it to." Nick Viall also weighed in on his podcast, calling Chock's take shockingly immature. "It's one thing to encourage someone to be open to new love," Nick said. "It's another to dismiss a marriage as some chapter that just needs to be shut because it makes you uncomfortable. Joan's husband wasn't some ex. He was her everything . Chock's attitude is the definition of insecure man energy." Joan, to her credit, handled the situation with grace. Though she looked visibly taken aback by Chock's words, she gently tried to explain why her late husband would always be a part of her life. "Loving someone new doesn't erase the love I had," she told him. "I can open my heart while still honoring what I had with John. It's not a competition." But even with Joan's patient explanation, Chock seemed unmoved. He even rolled his eyes, an expression that didn't go unnoticed by viewers who were already fuming. Chock rolling his eyes at Joan when she was talking about her late husband. "How do we eliminate someone from our own TVs? A fan quipped on Instagram. Now the big question remains, will Joan see the red flags before it's too late? While Joan and Chock have had undeniable chemistry throughout the season, this moment seems to have cast a serious shadow over their connection. It's one thing to be confident, but it's another to be dismissive about something as significant as losing a spouse. Fans are now calling for Joan to send Chock packing, warning that his attitude is a preview of bigger issues down the line. "This is the kind of guy who would get jealous of a framed photo," one viewer pointed out. "Run, Joan." Producers have remained tight-lipped on whether Joan will confront Chock about his remarks in the next episode. But a sneak peek teases an emotional rose ceremony where Joan is seen tearing up, potentially weighing her decision. Will she listen to her gut and Bachelor Nation's overwhelmingly loud advice and cut ties? Or will Chock somehow talk his way out of it? Either way, one thing is clear. Bachelor Nation won't be forgetting this moment anytime soon. And unless Chock pulls off a miracle redemption arc, his time in the Bachelor world may be short-lived. As one fan perfectly summed it up, Joan deserves someone who respects her past and her future. Chock is not that guy. The next episode can't come soon enough.